Klonoa was first released on the PlayStation 1 back in 1977, made by Bandai Namco. They have since made many sequels, spin-offs, and just recently a remake. This is my review of Klonoa Phantasy Reverie. I'll be reviewing both games, so I hope you enjoy, and let me know what y'all think. So, let's get into it. Each game has a unique story attached to them that are pretty much separate. They both follow Klonoa, but take place in different worlds. The first is Phantasy, a world powered by dreams, while the second is in the dream world of Klonoa. As much as I could tell, there is no direct correlation with one another, so the order in which you want to play is entirely up to you. Klonoa, the door to Phantasy, starts in Breescale, the home of Klonoa. After seeing a big crash, he goes to investigate. This leads him to discovering an evil spirit's plan to turn this dream world into a nightmare. Klonoa, with the help of Hugh, must stop this spirit and save their world from destruction. Their first story was amazing. It just took me a minute to grasp what was going on. It is extremely vague in some areas, but as you progress it starts to pick up and become a bigger part of the game. In Klonoa Klonoa's Veil, Klonoa wakes up in a strange new world after being saved by a priestess and her friend. As thanks, he helps this priestess ring the Four Kingdoms bells in order to yet again stop evil from spreading, all while being chased by the infamous sky pirate Leorinia and her friend Tat. This story was by far the best out of the two. It is so elaborate and heavily intertwined with the actual game itself. I had no problem at all keeping up with the story, and I really enjoyed it. It adds so much more to the overall play of the game. I am so glad that they improved the story from the first to the second. It really brought more to this series and it made it way more enjoyable. Even though I thought the story for the first was a little lacking, it still had its moments. So overall, great job on both. The total playtime of both games is about 9 hours, with each game lasting about 4.5 hours. They have a certain amount of visions that must be completed in order to beat the game. The first has 6 visions, each with 2 stages to complete, not including the boss fight though. Now the second has 24 different visions to complete, each varying in length and number depending on the kingdom. They also revisit a lot of areas, unlike the first where you're always going somewhere new. Namco offers the same difficulty levels with both games, easy and normal. Normal gives you a limited amount of tries for said level, and 3 hearts for health. Also, your bullets from your ring will not come out as far. Now the easy difficulty gives you an infinite amount of tries, and 5 hearts. Also, your bullets fly farther, and your damage from enemies is reduced. I mostly played on normal, because for most of my playthrough, I had no problem with the levels. Until I got to Vision 6 of the first. Then the game jumped way too high in difficulty, to the point where I almost stopped playing entirely. It was terrible, and I had no choice but to give it a shot on easy mode. That way I wouldn't have to restart the level if I ran out of tries. I know I'm bad at platformers, but this seemed to be almost impossible to get past. After looking into it, I discovered I wasn't the only one who noticed this. I understand wanting to add a level of difficulty towards the late stage of the game, but making it that hard might be a stretch. Thankfully, this was not the case for Klonoa 2. I was able to manage the whole game on normal. During each level, you are usually given 3 tries to complete said area, though you are given the opportunity to raise that number by either collecting 100 gems or coins that are randomly placed around the map. The first I believe has a set amount of coins, but the second, more will pop up depending on how low your number of tries is. I'm super glad Namco put this option in the game. Those coins saved my butt many times. There are also other collectibles that you can grab throughout the game. The first has inhabitants that you save in every vision. If you collect all of them, it'll unlock a bonus level for you to play. In the second, there are just little bells for you to grab that give you the same prize as well. You will also unlock an extra cutscene after collecting all the gems in each area too. Throughout the game, Klonoa will fight various enemies as he travels. They are not really that difficult to manage at the start, but get a little annoying towards the end. You are given the wind ring to protect yourself against any foe you encounter. The ring allows you to capture enemies with the wind bullets and use them to hit other targets, objects, and add an extra boost to jump higher. They even have enemies that will let you fly for a short period of time. Namco adds many spots where this is required, and I think it's a fun interactive experience. It adds even more depth to the levels, having you fight the enemies in order to continue on. During Klonoa 1, you encounter bosses at the end of every vision. They are summoned when you encounter Joke. Their designs are pretty cool and kind of match the biome that they're in. Each one has specific ways to defeat them. Now in the second, bosses kind of just spawn out of nowhere and vary depending on where you are. I really enjoyed each boss you encountered, even though some were a little difficult, especially in the second when they made them so intricate. It was so cool to see each level and fight each one. The added obstacles gave a fun challenge and even more enjoyable experience. Klonoa 2 also offers an optional area called Mommet's House. This is located in the Kingdom of Julian. After clearing the kingdom, it offers many features like bonus levels, music player, memories. You can even replay some of the boss fights if you want. This is a cool addition that adds a nice break from the game. Overall, the gameplay for both games was good and enjoyable. My only comment is the difficulty of the first. I have heard it's not as hard in the original, so maybe I'll give it a try there, but I do wish it just wasn't so hard. Namco put a lot of work into these remakes, especially into the levels and graphics. As you run through, you can just see how amazing each vision looks. They are so beautiful and unique to that area. The graphics are amazing as well. I honestly didn't realize this was originally on the PS1 till later. It just goes to show the amount of care they put into this series. If you compare the levels between 1 and 2, you will see a big difference. Of course, you will notice that Klonoa 1's world map is just some paper with the different areas on it, but 2 has an actual world that you can traverse. Also in 1, the levels have depth to them, just not as much as 2. Even the graphics are a little bit better in 2 as well. This just shows that Namco noticed some of the flaws in the first and improved in the second, which is awesome that they took their time to do so. Namco did a fantastic job on the updated levels and graphics. Like I said before, it just makes these games feel brand new. Great job. Another difference between 1 and 2 is the third person aspect. Both are classified as a 3D side-scrolling platformer, but in some areas switch to a third-person point of view. You see this in the first Klonoa on a few levels, mostly just ones that involve a moving platform, while the second is introduced more often. They vary depending on what area you are in, but mostly you see it during the snowboarding levels. These levels are a fun little minigame that is added every so often. It involves the use of a borrowed board that Polka took from the Jubilant Kingdom. They are extremely fun and some of my favorite levels to play. As you explore each level, you will run into some obstacles and puzzles. These were a bit of a challenge for me because I'm just not the best at puzzles, but I managed. Even still, I enjoyed them. It was a cool way to work my brain. They weren't some kid puzzles either, you really had to think in some cases. I can't tell you how excited I would get when I finally figured it out. Great addition. Overall, Namco did a fantastic job with these levels. It really is what made the game so much fun. Not only were they extremely cool to look at, but offered a fun challenge as well. This was a very cool and fun series for me. I have only heard of this or seen this a little bit, so every so often, so I didn't really know what to expect going in. Even though I got upset in some areas, almost to the point where I wanted to give up, I kept pushing and found true enjoyment with my playthrough. So my overall rating for this game would be a 9 out of 10. This game was amazing from the level design to the gameplay, just everything awesome. Though the difficulty in the first, it just seemed way too harder than it needed to be. Thankfully this was fixed in the second and it's really what saved the score. Other than that, great work and I recommend it to anyone who's got some time to give it a try. As always, thank you all for watching and please let me know what y'all think about my rating. If you think it deserved more or less, please let me know. God bless and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace!